So the White House released a statement praising Exxon Mobil for some new business that they're going to do in the Gulf. You know, what could go wrong? It's not like we've ever had issues with oil in the Gulf or anything. So this is a new investment that they're doing. It has a lot to do with chemical companies and various other things. And the statement that the White House released just happened to be nearly identical to an Exxon Mobil press release. Now, some outlets are covering this as the White House plagiarizes Exxon Mobil press release. No. They're missing it. They're missing the story. They're missing the point. The point is, guys, Exxon Mobil's CEO is now the leads the State Department. I mean, we're talking about the Secretary of State being Exxon Mobil's former CEO. And by the way, he took millions upon millions, I think over $100 million when he left. So, or no, excuse me, that's the Goldman Sachs guy. Oh, I'm getting my corruption mixed up in my brain here. The Goldman Sachs president took $275 million on the way out. Exxon Mobil's guy, I don't know what his parting bonus was, and I don't know if he has to wait to get it. But I'm sure there's some Dick Cheney, Halliburton-esque type shit going on, like there is with Goldman Sachs, where they say, here is an exit bonus. Don't ever start a war and then give us no big contracts and make us really rich or anything. So Exxon Mobil and the federal government, they've merged. I mean, that's what this is. You have a nearly identical statement being released by Exxon Mobil in the White House. The Secretary of State is the former CEO of Exxon Mobil. What more evidence do you need? I mean, this is Mussolini's definition of fascism was when corporations and the state merge. So we basically have a state oil company with Exxon Mobil. But here's the thing. They privatize the profits. Now, there are nations that have nationalized the energy industry, including the oil industry. And that means that people actually get a check in the mail because that's their oil. That's the people's oil. That's what happens when you nationalize an industry. So, for example, believe it or not, this is the one good thing Sarah Palin did in Alaska, where she let the oil companies drill, but she said, okay, look, this is the people's oil, so you don't own the oil. This is Alaska's land. So in order to, if you want to take the natural resources, you have to cut a check to the people of Alaska. They have to get a check from the oil company every year. And that's what happened, and that's what they do. Again, other nations do similar things where they say, the oil, this is nationalized. The oil is nationalized. You're taking it out of our land. You don't own all the land in the country. So if you drill somewhere, that's the people's land you're drilling and the people's oil you're taking, so you have to pay the people for it. Here in the U.S., or I should say with what ExxonMobil's doing, they go to the Gulf, they take the oil, they say it's our oil, and they don't cut a check to the American people. You know, if they're taking it off the coast of Louisiana, the people of Louisiana don't get a check for having their oil taken. So think about that, man. They privatize the profits, and then if there were to ever be a collapse in the oil market, they would socialize the losses. You'd have people talking about a bailout of ExxonMobil. And if you don't think that's the case, look at what happened with Wall Street. You know, you say, oh, but come on, ExxonMobil is an industry that's been hurting the people. We wouldn't bail them out. What, Wall Street firms weren't hurting the people? The big banks weren't hurting the people? But what did they do? Privatize the profits, and then, oh my God, when the shit hits the fan, don't go bankrupt if you're a firm on Wall Street that's been engaging in fraud. Have the government rush in and bail them out. Have the taxpayers rush in and bail them out. So you make your own shitty decisions that bankrupt your company, government comes in and saves you. It would be the same thing with this, because now you have ExxonMobil in top positions in the government. What, you really think fucking Rex Tillerson isn't still in contact with people at ExxonMobil and not going to craft policy to help them? They're unquestionably going to do that. They already did that. They're talking about, a $20 billion investment in the Gulf and all these different companies. No regard whatsoever for the environmental impact and for the fact that there's already been a disastrous environmental impact from the BP oil spill and, the fallout of that. So this is fucking crazy what we're seeing here. And here's the thing, if you're gonna have, this marrying together of the government and the oil companies, okay, give us all a check. Give us all a check. If you're gonna have a state oil company, then bitch, treat it like a state oil company. That's our oil. We are the state. The people are the state. The people are the government. So cut us a check. You want to go take, extract resources? Cut us a check. Those are our resources. I mean, that's the way it would work if it's actually a state, agency, and if it's actually nationalized oil. But no, what they want to do is they've taken over the government. They've effectively bought the government. They've bought the politicians. So they're going to craft U.S. policy in their own benefit and not look after the people, not take care of the people, not do any of that. It's all about greed and corporatism, and again, according to Mussolini's definition, flat-out fascism, and you're the ones who are left behind. So you don't get a check, and we continue the environmental disaster that is climate change. This is a lose-lose for everybody except Exxon Mobil and Donald Trump. And could you imagine if it was under Obama or if it was under Hillary Clinton? Hey, you had a White House statement that was nearly identical to an Exxon Mobil press release. Seems like a conflict of interest problem, does it not? Seems like industry is getting too cozy with the government. No, that seems like corruption 101. But with Trump, somehow he skates above it, and he brags about it. He has the nerve to brag about it. Oh yeah, Exxon Mobil, tremendous. I want to thank you. He thanked him on Twitter. I want to thank you for jobs and stuff. Jobs. That's what this is. It's jobs. Forget the fact that it's going to exacerbate climate change and lead to more pollution and get people killed, and forget the fact that this is all to increase your profits and screw over the people because you're going to take the oil that's theirs and not give them a check. But jobs, I'm going to say jobs, tremendous. Let me just tell you.